Welcome to Benjamin Recaps, where every movie is worth reliving. Today, we're taking a thrilling ride through the world of car racing with Overdrive. Buckle up, grab your popcorn, and get ready for a high-speed journey filled with sibling rivalry and determination. Let's get started on this exciting recap of Overdrive. The film begins with a scene from the racetrack. People seemed excited to see the high-speed car led by Naozumi, the flagship racer from Supika, as mechanics Junpei and Atsuhiro were seen preparing the engine performance that Naozumi would use in the rally race. And, as expected, Naozumi was first. In the same location, a girl named Endo has recently changed jobs to become Naozumi's manager. She was an athlete manager for golf. When she introduced herself to Supika's CEO, Suzuki, she was immediately accepted. She also learned that Naozumi's personality was difficult to manage, but he was compatible with Endo. The mechanics team, led by Atsuhiro, worked tirelessly to assemble the engine in order to provide maximum speed during the race. Endo looked for Naozumi while they were working on the machine, but instead she ran into Atsuhiro. It turns out that Naozumi left after a disagreement with Atsuhiro over his car's engine settings. Naozumi aspires to win the World Rally Championship, the world's most prestigious rally championship. That night, Naozumi appeared to enjoy the luxury of a cruise ship party and seemed unconcerned about the hassles of his team. He's embroiled in a dating scandal. However, because he is a racer, his attractive face and popularity make him a target for well-known brands. But Naozumi is only concerned with racing and his desire to win the WRC. The day changes, just like his Sigma rival Akira. In the interim standings, Naozumi's speed record is second only to Akira's for the biggest championship in Asia, which will feature 13 rounds with 2 rounds outside of Japan. The mechanic team did their best, as usual, to prepare the best machines for the racers. But for the fearless Naozumi, mechanical caution would slow him down. The busy racing arena is back in action. After the race, the mechanics checked the engine's condition, while Naozumi faced a crowd of reporters. When she saw Naozumi in the spotlight, Endo made a big deal about Naozumi having to wear a brand sponsorship. This irritated Naozumi about his new manager's behavior, and problems erupts when a reporter offends Naozumi. Then he beat the reporter while another camera snapped a photo of him. Endo must clean up her talent shambles. Endo had to invite Naozumi to a meeting with the sponsor in the afternoon. But once again, she only met Junpei, who was working on a car design. When Junpei mentioned the difficulties of working as a mechanic, Naozumi emerged. He simply awoke from a slumber and then left Endo. Apparently, Naozumi has been unable to acknowledge Endo's presence because Endo, according to him, is uninterested in rallies and is only concerned with commercials and sponsors. Naozumi chastises Endo in the midst of the race preparations. Fortunately, Atsuhiro expressed care for Endo, which made her feel better. The race began by putting a speed record only seconds apart at danger. Naozumi is seen driving his car at fast speeds and with a high danger to break Akira's record, and when he arrived at the finish line, he was in first place. The Supika crew was overjoyed to welcome Naozumi's new album. After the race, Endo meets Atsuhiro, who is working on an engine to boost the speed of the automobile. However, the project is not instant, and it takes a long time to be used. Endo, seeing Sahiro's tenacity, asked Atsuhiro why he wanted to become a mechanic. Then Sahara recalled recollections from the past. He and Naozumi used to go to the mountains as kids. Then, on their way home, they raced by bicycle. However, Naozumi was reckless and he fell instead as a nice brother. At a race car factory, Suhiro fixes his brother's broken bicycle. He began to discover his life's purpose there. Unfortunately, their connection has changed, not like it used to be. Following that, rally racing takes place in Malaysian stadiums with high terrain and more challenges than usual. The Zumi demonstrated his abilities once more by maximizing his speed as much as possible. However, he entered the corner too quickly and hit a boulder, costing him a significant amount of time in the race. They attended a party. Naozumi, on the other hand, retreated. Then Endo summoned him to join the others. Naozumi entered the building, staggered, and met the other racers. They also argued until Naozumi defeated the racer. After that incident, Naozumi fell asleep beside the pool and became delirious when Haina's name was mentioned. After a long time, memories of Hina resurfaced. Hina is both his childhood friend and his first love. Hina, on the other hand, has a crush on his brother Atsuhiro. The female then left the two brothers and moved to Boston. These recollections were so unpleasant that Naozumi leaped into the water, but it all came flooding back to them while they were at the beach. Hina was looking forward to Atsuhiro's presence without recognizing it. Naozumi walked out and announced his commitment to be the world's fastest racer. Meanwhile, Endo discovers the identity of Hina, who turns out to be deceased. Finally, the event was staged once more in a challenging arena. The racers, including Naozumi, give it their all behind the wheel. But his motions abruptly slowed. The mechanical staff got to work on planning for repairs. Endo took care of her golf talent at her prior employer in the unplanned situation. She went to her employer, who told her she should go or not meddle because the talent had found a better manager. Meanwhile, Naozumi blamed the mechanics for the earlier incident. This clearly enraged Shiro because Naozumi showed no gratitude to the mechanical team who had assisted him. But still, Naozumi blames Atsuhiro and tells him about their past. Atsuhiro, who is terrified, is unable to hold Hen away until she is finally shot in Boston, while Naozumi is powerless to intervene. Endo visits the repair shop the next day and examines the machine designed by Atsuhiro. The machine was successfully marketed and contributed to the local economy. Then he waited for Atsuhiro and they talked. Endo describes her failure after being fired from the golf company, and she is still rejected by Naozumi. Later, Atsuhiro took her to a warehouse where many machines were stalled due to production failures. There appear to be numerous flaws before it can be considered perfect and sell well in the market. This inspires Endo, who is going through a confidence crisis. Even so, Atsuhiro lamented the fact that he lacked courage. Endo then goes to Naximi to inform them of their schedule. Endo claims that she is almost back to being a golf player manager, but she has decided to support Naozumi in her quest to become the world's fastest racer. Naximi became softer as a result of Endo's words. Furthermore, Endo learns a lot about rally racing so that she is no longer dismissed by Naozumi. Because of Endo's genuine support, Naozumi has become more cooperative and willing to give media interviews. He remembered his brother's words about repairing the damage when he saw the mechanics pushing his car. Naozumi's mind flashed back to their past memories. Endo, realizing this, alludes to the fact that she discovered Hina is already dead. Naozumi recalls the Christmas before Hina's death. They received a letter filled with contempt for Atsuhiro and only one sentence urging him to return to the racing arena. That is extremely difficult to persuade. This route sees a lot of rollovers. As the tournament comes to a close, Naozumi reflects on their past. He had promised Hina that he would be the best racer in the world, and now he had to keep that promise. Despite the fact that Hina had never loved him, the memory was distracting him. He tried to refocus by driving the rally car at breakneck speed. But in the midst of his ambition, he crashed, severely damaging his car. Naozumi was advised by the Spiker team to skip this series, but it's clear that Naozumi doesn't want to. The mechanic team did their best to repair the car despite the severe damage. Actually, the car could still be repaired if the engine was disassembled. However, a Spica team could be disqualified from the match. The conflict between these brothers exacerbates the situation. Rather than blaming each other, Naozumi desired Atsuhiro's promise to continue repairing his vehicle. But now, in the midst of bad weather, he has given up. Except for Akira, who managed to return to the top of the standings by only 30 seconds, the series was a disaster. After this incident, Naozumi's mood deteriorated, as did Atsuhiro's, who is usually able to deal with problems even when he is anxious. That was a big hit. Hina's Christmas letter was opened by Atsuhiro. After reading the letter, he went to see Naozumi for a brief moment. They reminisce about everything that has changed on the beach where they spend time together. They were discussing something sensitive about Hina. Atsuhiro had just realized that Naozumi was attempting to win the race in order to keep his promise to Hina. Despite being forbidden from discussing despicable things, Naozumi continued to corner Atsuhiro, who couldn't stop the girl from fleeing. However, Naozumi eventually discovers a secret. Naozumi was apparently heartbroken after despicably rejecting him. Then he revealed that Atsuhiro had a crush on someone else. As a result, Hina traveled to Boston in order to forget about Atsuhiro. Regardless, it all happened. Naozumi keeps his promise to be the world's fastest racer. After that, Atsuhiro continued to think and dared to do risky things in order for his brother to win. He intended to install an unfinished assembly engine to maximize the car's power. The assembly is extremely risky because it will need to be refined again, but this time he overcame his fears and installed the engine in Nozomi's car. And the day of reckoning has arrived. The audience was pumped to see the rally racing final, which featured a fierce competition between Acura and Naozumi. The mechanic team, as usual, continues to put the finishing touches on the racing car. The Sigma team was ahead in this round, but there is still time to change the outcome. Nozomi put everything he had into it until, at the end, he passed the arena near the lake and suddenly collided, and he then entered the lake, forcing today's championship to be called off. This incident made Atsuhiro nervous, so he approached Nozomi, who appeared to be in good shape. He claims the car is flawless, but perhaps he made a mistake. Seeing his brother's demeanor, Atsuhiro felt compelled to keep his promise to repair Nozomi's vehicle. He ordered a team of mechanics to immediately lift the car and repair it. The mechanical team worked tirelessly all night to get ready for the third day, which is known as the Day of Determination. The following morning, they restarted the car engine, which was still running. At the same time, Atsuhiro appeared to be very satisfied and happy. This was also welcomed by Nozomi, who had finally reached an agreement with his brother. Before the game, Atsuhiro encouraged Naozumi, who was ready to compete for first place. Finally, the spike. Behind the wheel, a team demonstrated their abilities. After a long struggle, it was Nozomi who continued to gain speed. The rally racing champion, Naozumi, managed to surpass Acura's time record from Sigma, and with this, he was declared qualified to join the WRC. Not only that, but Zumi finally made peace with Atsuhiro, his brother, and the movie ends. Thanks for tuning into Benjamin Recaps, where every movie is worth reliving. Today we've explored the world of car racing in overdrive. From the talented young driver Naozumi, to the car mechanic and engineer Atsuhiro, to the clueless yet determined Hikaru Endo. It was an exciting journey full of high-speed thrills and sibling rivalry. We hope you enjoyed this recap of Overdrive. Remember to like and subscribe for more movie recaps and reviews. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. This channel is dedicated to bringing you the best in film recaps, so make sure to follow us on this exciting journey. This has been Benjamin Recaps, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned.